Okay, let's continue with question 13. The figure is made out of squares. So the keyword squares tells you that the four equal sides are one of the properties. Okay, so if it is 8, it will be 8 here as well. If it's 11, it's going to be 11 here as well. Alright, so find the total area of the unshaded part. So remember, the keyword is unshaded because you might be tempted to find the shaded part instead, which most of the workbook questions is for shaded part. Alright, now let's start off with the first shaded part, shall we? Now, the shaded part of A is just half, right? Triangle, remember, is a half of a square. So A is very easy, It's just simply half times the base times the height. Okay, or 8 times 8 divided by 2, which you prefer, which will give you 32 square centimeter. Alright, now let's take a look at B. Okay, now B, if you know that this is 8, that means here also is going to be 8, and the whole entire length is 11, which means that this unknown here is 3. 11 minus 8 is 3. Now how to find B? B is definitely a triangle. And for us to find a triangle, half times base times height, we will need to do a half times. Where's the base? Now the base is 3 that we just found out. What about the height? Remember, to be at the height, you need to be standing on the ground and then facing upright all the way to the highest point, which means that this is the height, and the height is 11. Okay, with a calculators that you press, you will have 16.5. Now, what is A plus B, the shaded part? 32 plus 16.5 gives you 48.5. Alright, now you want to find the unshaded, so you want to find the whole figure, including the shaded. Then you take away the shaded part, okay, which is 48.5. So this is not the final answer yet. Let's add up the squares. 11 times 11. That's the first square. The smaller square, 8 times 8, which will give us 185. Alright, now 185 is the two squares added up, but we want to take away the shaded, which will leave us with the answer for the unshaded. So the answer, 136.5 square centimeter. Remember the units again. Alright, so I guess the trouble with here is to identify which is the base, which is the height. So you probably have to turn your papers so that you know that this is the base. For a person to be standing on the base, and then the person has to stand upright 90 degrees to the highest point in a triangle, which is 11. Okay, so I think that's the tricky part. Other than that, this should be quite easy question. Alright, question 14, our favorite bar graph again. Same thing, first thing we want to make sure is that the numbers are correct. So can you check that these numbers are correct? First step, do spend some time on the bar graph, because if your numbers are wrong, no way you will get a correct answer even. Okay, now what is the average number of fiction books borrowed by the four classes? Fiction is grey in color. So I'm interested in this number, this number, this number, and this number, added up, the average. So let's find out the total first. We have a total where we add 20 plus 28 plus 16 plus 32. And then the answer, entire thing, divided it by 4. Because we want to find the average among the four classes. You get the answer 24. So A is pretty easy, We are interested more in B. Okay, now B says the average number of non-fiction books borrowed by 5C and 5D is 5 more than the average number of non-fiction books borrowed by 5A and 5B. Now the non-fiction books will be this one. I put it in a different shape, and this one. So 24 and 20 gives a total of 44. And this 44 refers to the total, but we want to know what is the average. The average is divided by the two classes, which is 22. And they say that this is for the average, and average for which class? 5A and 5B. Alright, non-fiction, non-fiction, averaged for 5A and 5B. Now, I want to know that the average number from 5C and 5D, but I don't know because it's not given. The only clue that they tell you is 5 more than the average from 5A and 5B. So if the average is 22, meaning 5C and 5D would have borrowed 5 more, which is 27. So this is the non-fiction, the average for 5C and 5D. That means on average they borrowed more, 27. Okay, so 27 will be the average, and there are two classes. We want to find the total. So the two classes multiply by 2 because on average one class borrowed 27 non-fiction. So two classes will be 54 in total. Alright, now you have 54 in total. You have already got a 28 here. So 54, which is a total, minus away the 28 from 5D, you will get what is the total number of non-fiction books by 5C. Okay, which is 26. Answer. Question number 15. You have Kai who bought 4 times as many cupcakes as waffles. So you have your cupcakes, you have your waffle, and the number that cupcakes being bought is 4. Number of waffles being bought is 1. Alright. Okay. Now, he's going to spend buying cupcakes and waffles, and you know that he spent $9.80 more on the cupcakes than the waffles. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I will want to take 40.60 minus 9.80 to even out the number. Alright, now evening out the number will assume that I have spent equal amount on both cupcakes and waffle. I'm taking out the extra. So this 30.8, I divide it by 2. I'm trying to do some assumption here. I'm trying to assume that he spends 15.40 on waffle and he spends 15.40 on cupcakes. Okay, so I'm just minusing the 980, the more that he spent. Let's assume that he spends equal number on waffle. He spends equal amount of money on the cupcake. So he spends 15.40 for waffle. He spends 15.40 for cupcakes. Okay. Now, if he's going to spend equal number on cupcakes, 15.40, we're going to have a 15.40 here. Alright. Now, for cupcakes, he spent 15.40 also. Now, in real life, in this real story, we know that he didn't just spend 15.40 on cupcakes. We were lying to ourselves. We took away the 980, assumed that he spent 15.40 on both the cupcake and waffle. But in the real story, he said that he actually spent $9.80 more on the cupcakes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add back the $9.80, which is $25.20. So in fact, he spent $25.20 on cupcakes, 15.40 on the waffle. That is what I'm trying to do. Now, take a look at the cupcakes. 4 units makes up 25.20. So I'm just going to write it out. 4 units, 25.20. 1 unit is going to be 25.20 divided by 4, which is going to give me 6.30. Alright, so this is 6.30, 6.30, 6.30, and 6.30. So let's just compare it against 1 unit of waffle and 1 unit of cupcake. Alright, now naturally you know that the waffle is going to cost more. Because if you buy 1 unit of waffle, don't know how many waffle is 1 unit, it's going to cost 15.40. Whereas the cupcake, if you buy the same 1 unit, it's going to cost only $6.30. Let's find out the difference if you buy a waffle versus a cupcake, which is going to be $9.10. Okay, so he actually spent a difference. The difference in the cupcake and the waffle is going to be about $9.10 for every unit. And he says that each cupcake is going to cost $1.30 lesser than the waffle. So how many waffles did he actually buy? He has actually made a difference of $9.10 for every unit of waffle and cupcakes that he buy. And if you know that each cupcake is going to be $1.30 lesser, we want to find out how many waffles he actually bought. He actually bought 7 waffles. Okay, so meaning to say this 1 unit is actually 7 waffles. Alright, this stage might be confusing for some of you. Let me repeat what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that for every 1 unit, I was just zooming to look at 1 unit. If you buy 1 unit of waffle and 1 unit of cupcakes, the difference is, of course, you have to pay $9.10 more because waffle costs more expensive. Alright, so every 1 unit of waffle he's going to buy, he has to pay $9.10 more. And the question says that a cupcake costs $1.30 lesser, cheaper than a waffle. So if I know every 1 waffle is $1.30 and he actually spent a $9.10 difference for every 1 unit, every 1 unit we know that he has spent 7 waffles. He has to buy 7 waffles, and that's the reason why there's a difference of $9.10. Okay, so if there's 7 waffles and it's $15.40, so 7 waffles is $15.40. I will be able to know 1 waffle is how much, and that will be $15.40 divided by 7, $2.20. Alright, so this is for question 15. Alright, now question 16, interestingly, this has to require some bit of imaginations from you. So now, whatever it is, just take note that the 2 notice boards are the same. Alright, the area doesn't change somehow. Alright, now so let's find out what are the things that we can find. Now this is the length, which is 1.275 meter. Now one is in meter and the other one is in centimeter. So it might be wise to change all into the same units first. Big to small, we have to times by 100, 127.5. Alright, now let's find the area of the space that I shaded here. Okay, now you have pasted all your construction paper and you realize there's some empty space. Let's find out what is the area of the empty space. The area of the empty space shall be 127.5 times the breadth is 27. So I will get 3442.50. So just to make things neater a bit, I'm just going to write, okay, this is 3442.50. Okay, now put it this way, if you are going to have a space of 3442.5, if you arrange your construction paper in a different way, you can actually safely say that the empty spaces over here will also add up to 3442.5, just that it's being broken up to 2 different sections. So what I could do is, given that you have learned composite figure last year, let's find out what is the area on top here first. I know that there's a 6 centimeter width, and I know that the length is 127.5. So let's find out the area of that shaded gap over there. We will have, it's still part A by the way, we will have 127.5 times 6, which will give me 765. So the one on top here is 765, the gap. Now, just now remember I said all the gaps will add up to 3442.5. So if I know on top is already 765, I just need to minus 3442.50 minus 765, which will give me the area at the side, 2677.50. This 2677.50 is for the width, is for the area on the left side, on the right side, sorry. Okay, now you know that the width here is 127.5 as well. Then the question is, what is the width? So let me just draw out because it's very confusing over there. This is the gap that is being left. We know that the width is 127.5. We are interested to find what is this. And we know that the area is 2677.50. So how to find the width? Easy already, right? You just need to divide to find the width. Okay, so you get your answer, which is 2677.50 divided by 127.50. Alright, which will leave you with the answer of what is the width. So let me use my calculator and see. 2677.5 divided by 127.5. And if you get a very nice number, you are most likely on the right track. And I got 21. So 21 is the length. 21 centimeter. Okay. Alright, now let's go on to part B now. Now part B will be slightly easier now that you have already know what is the area. So you have your, now for part B says what is the area of one piece of the colored paper. So let's find out the area of the whole entire board first. Alright, we have 127.5. And we're going to multiply it with the width over here. Now this 127.5, including the width of the 6 centimeter gap, would be 127.5 plus 6 centimeter gap. So it gives me 127.5 times 133.5. So the whole entire area of the board is this. Okay. Now of course, minusing the big little gap, you have this minus away the big gap, which is 3442.50, will give you 13578.75. This is the area of the whole 15 papers. So to find one paper, divide it by 15 to get 905.25. 905.25 square centimeter. Okay. Alright, let's bear with it. Last two questions. Question 17. A total of 40 children attended a birthday party. Every boy took 3 glasses of soft drinks and every girl took 2 cans. So right now I know that there are 2 different things. I have boys and I have girls. Alright. Now what happens is that each boy is going to take 3 glasses and each glass is going to be 200 milliliters. So that is like so much sugar for a person. For girls, 2 cans and each can is 220. So 220 gives you 440 ml. So every boy 600, every girl 440. Now a total of this amount was used up. Okay. Now this is in liter, this is in milliliters, so we want to change this into same units. So big to small times by 1000, sorry. So 19520. Alright, now do we know how many total boys and girls there are? There are 40. We don't know how many boys, how many girls, but we know a total of 19,520 was used. So very, very interesting. Looking at this type of question, what method do we use? We have to use guess and check. Alright, so we have same thing. I'm going to save time like the previous video, I'm not going to do all the checks. You're going to do it on your own. You're going to have a total. You're going to have a check. Alright. So if one boy drinks 600, one girl will be drinking 440. And I know, by the way, there are altogether 40 children. So I can start out with 20 boys, 20 girls. And each boy is going to drink 600. Each girl is going to drink 440. So I can find out the total, right, with your calculators. So it will be 8800. Total will be 10,000. It's not quite what I want, because I need a total of 19520. Alright. So you can continue to change the number so long the number of children is 40. Now the correct answer is actually 12 boys. 12 boys. So it takes a little bit of time for you to go and find out how many boys, how many girls. If there are 12 boys, there should be 18 girls. So makes up a total of 28 girls times 440. Alright. Now I would like you to do this on your own in order to get to the figure of 19520. Okay. So they're asking how many boys. It's a total of 12 boys. How many liters did they drink in total? 7,200. This is in milliliters or liters. This is in milliliters. So we want to change it to liters. Small to big, divided by 1,000. Answer 7.2. Okay. So that's for question 17. And we move on to the last question, question 18. Now, question 18, complete the tables. Now, let's take a look at the drawing first. What happens is that in figure 1 to figure 2, only 3 extra sticks were added. So, from 3, it became 3 extra sticks. The 3 extra sticks came as a result of adding a rooftop, right? Now, if you want to extend from figure 2 to figure 3, you notice you have to add one more house. Okay? Adding one more house will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you notice the number jumps up by 4. Now, in the next figure, instead of adding a new house, what did they do? They add a new roof. Adding a new roof, 1, 2. So, notice the number jumps up by 2. Now, for figure 5, what do you think? Will they add a house or will they add a roof? They are going to add a new roof, isn't it? A new house, sorry. Right? So, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So, they're going to add another 4 again. So it will be 22. For figure 6, what are they going to do? For figure 6, they are going to add a new house or a roof. They're going to add a roof, isn't it? So they're going to add 1 and 2. So it's just a number of plus 2 again. It will be 24. Okay, so this is 2 worth 1 mark. The challenge comes in part B. How many sticks would she use for figure 40? Alright. Now, let's take a look from figure 2. Let's just choose a random figure. I'm going to choose figure 2. Now, from figure 40 to figure 2, it is a total difference of 38 figures. Alright. Now, you notice for every 2 figures, other than this special one, you have to add a 3 because you need to start forming the first side. Now, for every 2 figures, you notice a total of 6 extra sticks are used. And there are altogether 38 figures from the figure number 2 to figure 40. There are altogether 38 figures. And I say that every 2 figures, 6 sticks is going to be used. So there are altogether 38 figures, and every 2 figures, meaning there are altogether 19 sets. 19 sets of 6 sticks that's going to be included. Alright, from figure 2 to figure 40, there are altogether 38 extra figures. Every 2 figures, 6 sticks are used. So, every 2 figures, 6 sticks are used. There are altogether 19 sets of figures. And each set has 6 sticks. So what I'm going to do, 19 times 6 is going to give me 114. Okay, now it means that I need to have extra 1146. Now the 1146 has to include the 12 in as well, because I started off from figure 2. So 114 plus 12 will give me 126 sticks in order to reach figure 14. This is your attendance code for the lesson today, the last lesson before we meet each other tomorrow.